Where does your mindset come from? That's a really great question. Personally, I think it's a combination of things. There's a little bit of genetics thrown in there. I'm sure it is, because with everything, there's always a little bit of genetics, what our parents, grandparents, and ancestors bring to the table. But mostly, I think it's how we are raised, because we have this bubble of beliefs. So when we're born into a family, the family we're born into has a set of beliefs. Poverty, growth, positivity, negativity, wealth, working hard all your life, using your brain, education, hard graft. There's a whole set of beliefs. Drinking, smoking, racism, friendly, unfriendly, party goer, introverted, extroverted. All of these things are in our family the second we are born. And as we're growing, particularly the first sort of 8 to 10 years, we are sponges. We absorb all of these beliefs because we have no other reference point. Our family are the closest thing. These are the things we look up to. These are our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, our aunties, you know. They tell us what to believe, not in so many words, but their actions and the way they live their lives. They become our beliefs. They become our bubble of beliefs, okay? And as we get older, we also absorb information and beliefs from our slightly expanded circle, so new friends, school friends, teachers, extended family. This is where our mindset comes from. If our parents want us to be independent thinkers, independent people, then they will encourage us to learn and grow and do things and try things and have adventures and have fun. If our parents are introverted or closed-minded or worried about stuff, then they won't encourage us to learn and explore and do things and take risks. And if you think of the world today, when I was a child, the play areas, the playgrounds were hard surfaced, metal barred things. If you fell over, you would hurt yourself. Now, yeah, hurting yourself isn't great, but you learn that with risk there came potential for fun and potential for danger. Whereas today, all our play areas have virtually zero risk because they're made of soft things. If you fall over, you bounce and you don't really hurt yourself. So this is one very simple example of how we are creating this mindset of removing risk. Yeah, the sense of adventure gets sort of taken out of us. So this is where it comes from. It comes from how we're grown. Not like a plant. I mean, you put plant in a special kind of fertilizer and you water it and you look after it, you stick it in the sun. I'm not talking about that way, but I'm just talking about how we grow as individuals, the surroundings we grow in, the life that we lead, the adventures that we have. If our parents are in business, then it's likely that as we grow older, we may consider going into business as well. If our parents are unemployed, then unfortunately for a majority of people, when they become adults, they will stay unemployed as well, or they won't have a satisfying, enjoyable working life. It seems that that's the way it goes. This is where your mindset comes from, a fixed mindset or growth mindset. Fixed mindset sees the world as pretty much negative. A growth mindset sees opportunity. And both of these come from the way we are raised in our families. Okay, a little bit of genetics in there, but primarily where we are raised, how we are raised. If you're born in a really difficult environment, you know, in the slums of India, then sadly you're probably going to spend most of your life in the slums of India. If you're born into a very, very wealthy family in, I don't know, Manhattan or somewhere nice in London, or, it doesn't really matter, then the tendency will be for you to grow up into that and stay in that and develop into that kind of area. Like breeds like. And as you grow as an adult, you have to decide whether the environment that you grew in, that you grew up in, that you learned everything in, is right for you. You have to decide whether you want to stay in that little bubble of, you know, unemployment or sadness or depression or alcoholism or racism, and then you have to decide to break out. And you can break out because mindset is everything. Your mindset isn't rigid. It's not like your arm, I mean, you can't grow your arm. Well, I suppose you could grow the muscles on your arm, but you couldn't make your arm 18 foot tall, yeah? Your arm is your arm. But the difference is your mind is expandable. You can continually, for the entire lifespan that you're on this planet, you can learn and grow and change your beliefs, change how you see the world, change how you impact the world, change how you interact with the world. And it doesn't matter where your beliefs come from if you accept they're not necessarily helping you to get where you want to be. Because, yeah, we all come from different backgrounds, some fabulous, some not so good, and some really, really awful backgrounds, yeah? But there are people from really awful backgrounds that make a decision early on. They don't want to live like that. So they change their mindset and they look for ways to do that. They start to interact with people with the mindset that they want. They start to talk to people who have been successful. They start to look at what successful people do, and then they model that or kind of copy that and make their own way, carve their own way. Yeah? Your mindset is everything. If you don't make the changes, if you don't make the improvements to your mindset, your environment won't change, your life won't change, your outlook on life won't change. So it doesn't really matter so much where your mindset comes from, as long as you're prepared to recognize that you can change it, you can make improvements, and you can steer yourself in a different direction. Say your family's mindset was this kind of way, yeah? Well, then you can decide, no, I don't want to go that way. I want to go my own way, my own route. Richard Branson, as an example, billionaire entrepreneur, sending people into space and all this kind of stuff, yeah? He grew up in a family that encouraged him to try new things, that encouraged him to be outgoing and adventurous and to do different stuff, yeah? And so, as a consequence, he started selling records out of his back bedroom, and Virgin Media became this huge, monstrously famous, well-known company, in Virgin Air and all the rest of it. Yeah. Likewise, there are people that grew up the same day as Richard that were in a family with a mindset that was very close and very fixed, and no, rich people are horrible, and hard days work for a hard day's pay and all this kind of stuff. And they will have grown up side by side in the same kind of, area, but completely different lifestyles if you compare where they started to where they are now. And that, for the most part, is by choice, because, okay, 100 years ago, maybe we didn't know there were other opportunities. But today, in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we know there are opportunities. We know that we can change our lives, that we can make improvements, and that we can go on a completely different tangent to the way our family did. But a lot of people decide not to, for the very simple reason that it ain't easy. Yeah, it's very easy to go down the rut that your family have made for you and to stay in that rut for the rest of your life. It's challenging. Yeah, it's rewarding as well, but it's challenging to climb yourself out of that rut and to make your own way in life. But that's the challenging part, that's the fun part, that's the hard bit. So it's not really relevant where your mindset comes from. The important thing is that you decide that where you are now isn't the best place for you, and you make the necessary changes to your mindset to make your way in life in the way you want to. It is that simple, that straightforward. So, thank you for watching. Any questions, please drop me a line in the comments, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.